What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. I do these every couple of months and I ask you guys on my Instagram and here on the YouTube community board to submit your questions. So I'm gonna try and answer as many as I can during this video. I love to watch these videos on other people's YouTube channels and I really enjoy making them for my channel as well. They tend to be a little bit long, but you guys seem to really like them and I will try and answer as many questions as I possibly can. The sun is going down as you can see right here. So we'll see how many questions we can get in until we lose the natural light. Let's get into it. Okay, let me just pull these questions up on my phone. And by the way, if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. I would very much appreciate that. If I don't answer your question today, by the way, I probably have already answered it in a previous Q&A. I always get a lot of questions about like my day job and my boyfriend and my cats, etc. I already have other videos dedicated to those things, so I'm gonna be linking those down below. So if I don't happen to cover your question, even though we have some really good juicy ones to talk about today, it's probably because I already answered it in another Q&A. By far, the most common questions that I got were about my move to Dallas. If you are relatively new here, I used to live in Boston. I lived there for about 13-ish years if you include college. So I was there for a pretty long time, pretty much most of my adult life. And then I moved here at the end of January to Dallas, Texas. I did a whole video about it. So I won't go into why I moved here because there's already a video about it. If you're interested, I'll link it down below. But most of you guys were asking me, how do I like Dallas? How are you liking Dallas? Pros and cons. How does it compare to Boston? What do you like the best and least about Dallas? What is your favorite thing about living in Dallas? And then another interesting question was, what do you really think of Dallas and Dallas style and beauty? So I'll do my best to kind of answer these like all in a group because they're pretty much all the same question. So far, guys, by far, I love it here. There's pros and cons of every place that you live, okay? And there's definitely things that I miss about Boston. What are the things that I like the most about Dallas? Well, number one, my day-to-day is much more comfortable. I love this apartment. It's so much more spacious. We were in a one-bedroom, myself and my boyfriend Tyler, we both work from home and we were just on top of each other. Like Tyler did not have a place to work. I talked about this in the Why Am I Moving to Dallas video, etc. But he literally was working like on my dresser as his desk. Like there really was no room for us. I was filming out of my living room and I know a lot of you guys, you liked that homey feel, but we got that homey feel here too, okay? I have so much more room. It's so much more comfortable for me here. I love having this studio, this home office where I can create content and also do my day job. I love our building. We live in kind of like the center of the city, so it's very walkable. One of the other questions I got was, did you get a car? I don't have a car. My boyfriend has a car. I still don't really drive. And honestly, friends, I haven't needed to. Like, I just walked to the tailor just now. It was like a 40-minute walk and I had a lovely time and then I walked back. Like I love getting out of the house and walking and running errands, and a lot of things near me are walkable. And if it's not walkable, it's like everything that we go to is maybe a 10 to 15-minute drive. I just take a quick Uber and I don't find that I take any more Ubers than I did in Boston. And Tyler drives me everywhere too. Like he's happy to drive me as long as he's not working. So we do have a car. I don't really need to drive, but that is kind of like somewhat of a difference from when I lived in Boston. But like I was saying, I like the area that we live in. There's so many things that are close to us. We have lots of restaurants and grocery stores and everything around us. So that part of it doesn't feel super duper different. I love the weather. I know a lot of you are gonna think that I'm crazy, but like it's 95 degrees outside. I walked 40 minutes to the tailor, 40 minutes back. And yeah, okay, I stopped at like Starbucks and whatnot, but I was fine. Like I was barely sweating, guys. I love hot weather. I mean, I still think my makeup and my hair look pretty good after walking outside in 95-degree heat. I know it's gonna get hotter, okay? I know it's gonna get hotter. Everyone's like warning me. I've been here when it's super hot. And yeah, it's really hot, but we have a pool, we have air conditioning. I like the sunny weather. I really love the fact that summer is almost extended, but we still have seasons. Like when I first got here, it was very cold, but it warmed up very quickly. I don't know. I really like the weather. The food is really good. There's a lot of places to eat out. In fact, there's, I think, more places to go out and eat than there were in Boston. There's so many things to do. Like it's a major city. There's lots of things to do. So I like that aspect of it as well. The people are very, very nice. I love the fact that people here are just a little bit more chatty. Like, I'm not gonna go so far as to say that people in Boston aren't chatty, because I always felt like, I don't know, I felt like people in Boston were nice as well. But people here are like just a little bit more outwardly friendly. Like, every time I go into a store, I feel like I spark up a conversation with somebody. Yesterday, I was in the Hermes boutique taking a look at something. Don't ask why I was there. I was taking a look at something, okay? And I basically like helped this one woman like pick out a gift from the makeup section for her friend. And I was like, oh, showing her the makeup, just like chatting. People here are very friendly. There's not a single time that I don't go into boutique and people don't say something. So I feel like the people here are really nice. I like that as well. Overall, I just enjoy it. I think like having a little bit more space, having weather that I just personally like a little bit better are probably my most favorite things. But it's like a major city, so I can do all of the same things that I did in Boston. Now, what do I miss about Boston? So many things, right? Because it feels like another home to me, even though home is like in southern New Jersey where I grew up and where my family's from. I spent 13 years there, so I do get homesick sometimes, especially around this time of year. I just like crave that Boston summertime day. Like, if you get a beautiful day in the summertime in Boston, it is just, oh, it is just majestic. I love those idyllic, long summertime days. The thing that sucks about Boston is that in the summertime, when you do have one of those days, everybody's trying to do the same stuff. Like, everybody's trying to go to the same rooftop, the same patio, doing the same activities. So that kind of sucks. But I just love those days. You know, I miss frequenting, you know, my favorite restaurants and my favorite little neighborhoods. I definitely miss the walkability of Boston. I definitely miss being by the ocean. We don't have that here in Dallas, so that's probably, I guess, the thing that I like the least about Dallas, and I wish it was a little bit more walkable, even though the area that I live in is plenty walkable, as I mentioned before. I definitely miss that. You know, I miss different people, I miss different friends. I don't have any family in Boston. You know, if you're new here, don't have any family there. They all live in like New Jersey and Greece and like the DC area, etc. So it's not like I have any family that I miss there. But I just miss, you know, the little neighborhoody feel. And I don't want to be mean, okay, but Boston is a very beautiful city. I think it's a more beautiful city than Dallas. I think Dallas is more like comfortable because there's just more space and like there's always parking and like I feel like I can always get a table at a restaurant. I feel like there's so many comforts in Dallas, but I do think that Boston is like a more beautiful city. Is that bad to say? I hope nobody gets upset by me saying that. I love the parks and the ocean. Those are some things that I definitely miss. But don't get me wrong, I'm really liking Dallas. And then to answer the question about the style, oh my gosh, I love people watching, guys. And keep in mind, okay, I've only lived here for a couple of months, all right? So I don't really know that many people here. Like, I have no family here. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, but like, I just love the people watching. My takeaways so far in terms of style, okay, is that I think in Boston, you get a little bit more of like that preppy chic, right? Because it's New England, so that makes sense. I also think in Boston, and I don't mean this in a bad way, you get a little bit more of like nerdy style as well, because there's just so many students there, so many people doing, you know, research. People come there from all over the world to work at the hospitals and MIT and Harvard. I know those are in Cambridge, but it's like the Boston area, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more of like a nerdy city, and I was a part of that, okay? I work in the tech industry, so you get a little bit more of like that nerdy style. I think in Dallas, people tend to be a little bit more fashion forward, but you know, in their own way. I notice that the women here, they definitely dress a little bit more like classically girly and feminine. I see a lot more high heels here, and that's probably because people drive everywhere, whereas in Boston, you can't wear high heels, okay? You're gonna like trip on a cobblestone. I've done it before. I've done it before, and I won't do it again, okay? So you see a lot more high heels. I also see like a ton of ultra feminine, floral, flouncy, frilly dresses. Like, people here just love their floral summertime dresses. They will dress them up, they will dress them down. I've seen people wear sundresses. Even when I first moved here and it was quite cold, I'm like, that girl's wearing like a sundress and it's literally like in the 40s right now. I would never do that in Boston. So I see a lot more kind of traditional, feminine, like ultra girly styles. Think like Love Shack Fancy, for example. And I do see a little bit more of like designer labels here, I guess I would say. You still get some of like that preppy look, but it's like a little bit more southern, if that makes sense. So again, this is like on average, okay? Also, if I were to go running on like the Esplanade in Boston, I feel like I see the kind of people who are like training for the marathon, okay? If I go running on the Katy Trail here in Dallas, you see super fit people, but they kind of look like they got dressed up to work out, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I love that, okay? Because I like don't even get to leave my house half the time. So I'm kind of one of those people as well that really enjoys the athleisure, but you definitely see like a little bit more of that. I also think that on average, I see a little bit more like lip filler, plastic surgery, like that kind of stuff. Again, on average, I see it a little bit more here. And it could just be, you know, in Boston, there's like a lot of students and maybe people haven't like gotten into that or whatever yet. But I do see a little bit more of that here, and people show more skin as well, so it might be like a little bit more noticeable. No shame at all. That's just something that I've noticed. For every person that's like completely done up, there's another person who's not. It's just that I see a little bit more of that, and I don't know, it is what it is. I'm kind of a bougie person, so I do feel like I fit in a little bit more here. I always felt like I was a little bit overdressed for Boston. It never really fazed me. I don't care if I'm dressed up, but I do think my style fits in a little bit better here in Dallas. This person asks, "Hi Sophia," smiley face. "Did you have to change anything in your skincare routine since you moved?" And then someone else asked, "Have any of your makeup favorites changed now that you are living in a new climate?" And short answer, no. I still wear the very same things that I did. I mean, look at my makeup. My makeup was bulletproof before and it is like bulletproof now. I don't know. I just also don't sweat that much. I really like hot weather. Already talked about that. I still use all of my favorites. I will say though, like I'm having fun testing out more like matte and full coverage foundations. Like I was just testing out is it the Chanel Latent? The more full coverage one. I wore that to church last weekend and I thought it looked beautiful. And I think in Boston, like I would still wear that in the summer, just probably wouldn't be able to wear it more year round because it would be a little bit too dry of a climate. And then with my skincare, I have changed it up, but I don't think it's because of the weather. I've just been struggling with my acne. So I did find a new dermatologist here who does like all my stuff. She helps me with my acne and she does my Botox and she helps me with my like masseters and everything like that. So that's been really great. I found some really great doctors, have found, you know, a nail tech, someone to do my nails, someone to do my hair. So all of that has been good. So I've had to switch that up, but I would say in general, like I haven't really changed anything. This person asks, "Have you been able to make any IRL friends since you've moved?" The short answer is like, no, really. I actually do have a friend or two friends here from college and I like to hang out with them, and that's been really great to like actually know somebody, and their girlfriends are really sweet as well. But I haven't really made many friends in general. I would say like the first 2 months I was here, I was just trying to unpack my stuff. I was just trying to like run this channel, work my regular day job, and like get myself together. And then unfortunately, as many of you guys know, my grandmother passed away in March. And so I had to go back and forth to New Jersey a couple of times. And that just kind of, you know, like you don't really have time to go out there and make friends. I want to make friends. I am not an introverted person. I know a lot of times creators, they're like, "Oh, I'm actually really introverted," even though I like, you know, talk to you guys in front of a camera and all that stuff. I'm not introverted. I would say I'm an extrovert, but I am tired a lot of the time. And I think when you're an adult, it's hard to push yourself to go out there and make friends. And it's kind of hard to figure out where to make friends. And also, as someone who is now 33, a lot of people my age, like they're busy as well. Like they're busy, maybe they are married, maybe they have small kids. And so it's kind of hard to connect with people. Comment down below if you have any, you know, suggestions on how to make friends as an adult. So I haven't really made any friends yet, but at the same time, I'm just kind of finally settled here, I feel like, and I really need to make more of an effort. I need to like join a gym or something like that, or maybe find like a wine club or something out there. If you have any ideas, comment down below and let me know. But but it's hard to make friends as an adult. The next question is your corporate job completely cool with your YouTube career? Do you ever feel like they question your time/commitment? I thought this was a good, juicy question. In general, by the way, I'm not really going to talk much about my job in this video just because I've chatted about it in many other videos, but just as like a quick synopsis, I work in tech. I'm a principal product manager, so I basically build like software projects, just to summarize real quick. And I do that full time alongside YouTube. And the answer to this is like, my job doesn't know about my YouTube channel, and I don't even think that they can tell because I'm doing my job perfectly fine. In fact, since starting this particular position, I've already been promoted twice. And if I wasn't doing a good job, I think that would be reflected in my performance review, and it just hasn't. So I don't really think it's any of their business. It is a big time commitment, don't get me wrong, but I think if you're really determined as a creator, if you are working full time, you'll figure it out. Like today is Saturday. This is the third video that I have filmed today, okay? Because I'm going on vacation next month and I want to make sure that you guys have some content to watch. Like you will figure it out. And I have coworkers that have like little kids and like that takes up a lot of their time, or maybe you have like family stuff that takes up a lot of your time, or maybe you are renovating your house. Like, I don't know. So many people have things that take up a lot of their time, but they still make it work and they figure out how to do a good job at their day job. So the short answer is like most of them don't even know about it. And the ones that do, they just think it's cool. And maybe that's because I work in tech and I work around a lot of very entrepreneurial people. So when you say like, oh yeah, like I run this other thing, or, you know, like I have a side hustle, usually they're just like interested and they want to know about it. So no one has ever questioned it. But like I can see why you would want to ask that. I thought it was a good question. The next couple of questions are about my boyfriend. Now I already talked about like how we met and kind of the background and all that kind of stuff in the last Q&A. So I'm not going to talk about that, but there are some good questions here. The first one is, does your partner share your love for luxury clothing, bags, and perfume? And the short answer is like, no, like no, not really. He doesn't really care about designer labels. He doesn't have any designer bags or really designer clothing or anything for that matter. But the first thing is that if I do get him something, I don't buy him like Louis Vuitton or Gucci, but I'll buy him like a nice golf polo or, you know, like an outfit or something. He loves all that stuff. Like he will wear it to death because he doesn't buy himself anything. He doesn't buy himself clothes. So I buy him that stuff and he wears it and he appreciates it. So like he appreciates nice things, but he's not really into like luxury. What he does really like is fragrance and skincare. Like this man loves his skincare. As soon as he finishes up whatever he's using, he's like, Sophia, I need more skincare. Like go into your cabinet, because I do get quite a bit of skincare PR. I try not to accept any PR that I'm not going to review or that I'm not going to use, but he takes it. He wants it. So if I get anything that's better suited to his skin, I will give it to him. He's really into his skincare, whether it be, you know, like drugstore or more high end. And he really likes nice fragrances. It doesn't have to, again, like it doesn't have to be, it's not like Creed or whatever, but he has like a Prada one, and then he has Versace Eros. Like those Prada Ocean and Versace Eros, those are his fragrances. So he really likes his fragrance and skincare. What does your boyfriend think of your luxury fashion addiction? What do your friends think? I live near Dallas and I'm also addicted to luxury. Yay! In general, my boyfriend, he doesn't care that I spend my money on these things. Like I pay my bills, I pay my part. He knows that I don't like spend my money frivolously. He knows that I'm like managing my money well. So he really doesn't care. He knows that this is my thing. This is what I like. And so for instance, when we go on vacation, if I'm like, I want to spend this day and I want to go shopping, he's like, okay. And he'll just go spend his like chill day, you know, walking around Paris, like figuring out what he wants to do just so that I can go shop. Like he doesn't want to go shopping, but he'll let me do my thing. Like he's perfectly fine saying, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like you want to shop, take your day to shop, we are here, and that's what you want to do. So like he's very respectful about that, and he doesn't judge me for spending a lot of money on like a handbag or an eyeshadow palette. I don't even think he knows what they cost. Like he knows it's my thing and he respects that. And if he has things that he's interested in, I encourage him to, you know, indulge in those. Like he loves to go golfing with his friends. He's golfing with his friends, you know, back home right now on a trip. And I'm like, you do that. You go have fun with your friends, because because that's what you enjoy. And what do my friends think? They think the same thing. They just know that's my thing, and they're like, ooh, Sophia, she's like our like luxury influencer friend, our like fashionista friend. And like, I'm the person that they will ask if, you know, they're looking for a new foundation or they're looking for a handbag or a recommendation or something like that. So I don't know. I guess I'm very lucky in that I don't have anybody who's close to me that like judges me for that kind of stuff. And if they're going to, I kind of like, I question whether or not I should be friends with that person. This person asks, what is your favorite luxe brand? I think I may have covered this in the last Q&A, but I'll answer it again, okay? Because I love answering this question. My favorite luxury brand, at least right now, is Fendi, because that is the brand where I love the bags, I like the shoes. I don't think I have any Fendi shoes, but I like the shoes, and I like the ready-to-wear as well. I kind of just like everything from the brand. I feel like they have very classic pieces, but they also have fun, sporty pieces as well. I think it's a sexy brand. I love the leathers and the different materials that they use. I love the texture of like the fur and the exotics and everything that they got going on. It's just a brand that I really like. I like the color schemes, like they're not afraid to play with color. I just love Fendi, and I'm really excited because I am going to be going to the Fendi Palazzo in Rome on my vacation next month, and I just got a new vlogging camera, so I'm going to try and vlog it. They told me I can vlog, and yeah, I love Fendi. I will always be a Louis Vuitton girl as well as it pertains to the bags. There's not as much clothing, like ready to wear, that I like from Louis Vuitton, but Pharrell is really making things interesting right now because I like the men's clothing and the men's bags as well. So I would say Louis Vuitton is like my number 2. Okay, a little bit of a fashion industry question right here. This person asks, have you heard anything further on the Hermes Birkin bag lawsuit? Seems to have gone off the radar. Okay, so if you are not into luxury fashion or handbags, I'll just give you a quick synopsis on what happened. Basically, these two women from California, they sued Hermes and they said basically it was illegal for them to like be forced to buy a bunch of extra products from different categories in order to have to purchase a Birkin bag, because we all know you can't walk into Hermes and just purchase a Birkin. You have to be offered the Birkin. Same with the Kelly, and I've heard same with the Constance. Basically, there's never any bags on sale. You kind of have to have a relationship with a salesperson. So they sued Hermes, and it sounds like they maybe had a pretty good case, but I don't think we're ever gonna hear about what happened to that case. I think Hermes is probably just going to give them some money and move on. I do think it was kind of a silly case. Like, come on, why are you suing Hermes for this? Like, where is this going to go? If you don't like the brand, don't shop there. They don't have a lot of those bags. They're made by artisans, and they purposely don't have a lot of those bags. So while it is a little bit ridiculous that you can't just like go in and buy something if it's there, I will say, if you only have like one of these bags to sell, you're probably gonna sell it to your customer who is the most loyal, who genuinely likes the brand. Like if I was an artisan and I was making a bag by hand, I wouldn't want it to be just sold to anybody. I would kind of want it to be sold to somebody who like really appreciates it, hopefully won't resell it as well. They don't wanna sell it to somebody who's just gonna go and like sell it on the pre-loved market to make money off of it. So I don't know, I just thought the whole lawsuit was pretty silly. I understand why a lot of it like isn't fair and people don't like Hermes, but I don't know. I genuinely like a lot of their stuff. Not everything that they sell, obviously, but I like a lot of their clothes, their shoes. I love their scarves, their belts, their jewelry. I like a lot of their stuff, but if you don't like it and you don't want to buy those things, like no one's forcing you to do that. Hi, Editing Sophia here. I wanted to add one more point to this rant and then I promise I will be done. The thing I wanted to say is that Hermes is not the only brand that does this, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. There are other brands that are reserving specific items, specific, very popular, kind of highly covetable or even sometimes rare items for VIP clients. A lot of times you need to have a relationship with a sales associate to get certain items. For example, with Louis Vuitton, a lot of the collections that they've been doing recently, you need to be a part of the pre-order. Like the Tyler, the Creator collab, most of that ready to wear, especially the denim pieces, they were all sold in pre-order. So if you didn't have a sales associate that was sending you a lookbook or maybe looking out for you for a particular item in your size, you weren't going to get it. I went to Chanel the day that a collection launched, and by noon, the bag that I wanted was gone. If you want to get one of those like Kelly bags, or some people call it the mini shopper tote, some people call it the nano bag, that really popular one with the little top handle. If you want one of those, you got to be a VIP. You need to have a really good purchase history with your sales associate, or else you're probably not going to get that bag. You can go through like a personal shopper or something like that. So there's other brands that are doing this. Very often, if you want a really popular item, you need to have a relationship with your sales associate. And it's really like not that different from what they do at Hermes, except with Hermes, there's probably like a little bit more scarcity involved. That's all I wanted to say. Another really interesting luxury industry question. This person asks, thoughts on the Italian court order re a factory that manufactures bags for Dior having substandard conditions for workers. It was extremely disturbing to hear these practices have reached high-profile luxury brands. So a little bit of background about this. Basically, there was a factory in Italy that got busted for really, really poor labor conditions. Like these people were living, or maybe are, still, I hope not, still living in the factory, working day and night, basically really, really horrible conditions. And they were producing a couple of very specific, or maybe just one specific Dior bag. So it's kind of like Dior under fire, or really LVMH that's under fire for not like auditing and making sure that they have good quality standards of the subcontractor that was hired to do this. Again, it's a subcontractor, but LVMH really is the one responsible for like paying these people to make these bags. So a lot of people are really, really upset with both Dior and LVMH. And honestly, guys, I think it's absolutely horrifying. I don't really know how to react because there's just so much we don't know. It's not all the bags at Dior. It's not everything that LVMH makes, but it is sickening to hear these things. Like, I don't think I'm going to just boycott all luxury brands. I'm not gonna stop, at least unless you guys really want me to, I'm not gonna stop like reviewing Dior makeup or whatever on my channel until I hear a little bit more about this. But it is very horrifying to hear these things, especially because, when I buy luxury goods, not only am I buying them because I like them and they're good quality, but also I'm hoping that by buying these luxury goods, they're not doing these things. Like, I'm paying this price so that they can treat these people with respect and pay them what they deserve. And like, that is what's sickening to me. They also said in like the articles that I read that like they were making these bags for something like $53, but then they were selling them for over $2,000. Like, that's just so messed up. But what I'm hoping is that since they got busted for this, I'm hoping that there's gonna be more scrutiny of brands in general. I really hope that the prices don't go up higher, but I'm hoping that maybe there'll be a little bit more transparency, and hopefully we can prevent this from happening, with other brands and other factories. But comment down below, let me know what you think of it. Short answer is like, I'm absolutely disgusted, and I'm kind of waiting to hear more information about how LVMH reacts to this. Oh my gosh, I still have so many questions to get through. I love doing this, but they do end up being long videos, so hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, if you're liking it. Okay, this person asks, do you have a specific diet and workout regimen that you have found works best for you, particularly with your busy schedule? If so, please share. For me, what works, okay, is just trying my best and being easy on myself. I can't work out as much as I used to because I do work a lot, but what I have found helps is specifically when I am stressed, because that's when I typically will like overeat, and then I get upset at myself for overeating, blah, blah, blah. I will use like a MyFitnessPal and I'll track what I eat. And that just kind of keeps me a little bit more grounded, helps me understand, you're eating too much junk food, Sophia. I don't go on strict diets. Like, I don't tell myself, oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, but I do try and eat as healthy as possible. I will eat a dessert every day, but it'll be like a little chocolate, and like a good piece of chocolate, right? Or I'll have a little like Greek yogurt bar or something that's only like 120 calories or whatever. Like, I don't deny myself good food. And when I go out to eat, I mostly eat whatever I want. Like, I'll order whatever I want on the menu, but I try to keep up with my nutrition and just not overeating, because I'm in my 30s now. It really doesn't matter how much I work out. Like, I need to watch what I eat. Diet is very, very important. I've learned to, work out when I can, like, and not to be too hard on myself. Like, sometimes it could be just going for a walk. I took a nice walk to go to the tailor today, and that was a nice long walk, and I really enjoyed that. And it's like good for my mental health to get outside. It can be a walk, it could be a 20-minute Peloton ride. Like, it doesn't have to be an hour-long workout. I also work out with a trainer twice a week, which is helpful, doing weightlifting and that kind of stuff. I think weightlifting is really important. It's good for your body. It's good to feel strong and be strong, and it helps you burn more calories even when you are not working. I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm not like a fitness professional. I did used to be a Zumba instructor, so I did used to be a fitness instructor. I'm not an expert, but I'm just letting you guys know what works for me. Having that time and place where I need to be makes it so that I will work out, okay? And I like getting out of the house. Otherwise, I might make excuses like, oh, I'm just too tired. But if I have to be there because he's expecting me, it helps me get that workout in. And I always have a good time. I always enjoy it. I always feel so much better afterwards. And I definitely see the results. So that's what I would recommend. Like, have set things that you can keep up with. Be easy on yourself, and then track your progress so that you can like feel that reward as you go. What do you enjoy the most in life? Food, fashion, traveling, etc. I enjoy all of those things, but the thing that I enjoy the most is my loved ones, their company, and the relationship that I have with them. Don't get me wrong, I love food, I love to travel, I love luxury. Like, those are hobbies, but they are not the things that give me, true happiness in life. And like, I talk about these things on my channel because that's what my channel's about, okay? That's like my niche. But I'm really, really close to my family. I'm like one of those people that calls my parents every single day. And like, if I call my mom and she doesn't pick up, then I call my dad. If he doesn't pick up, then I call my sister. If she doesn't pick up, then I call my grandma. If they don't pick up, then I'll call somebody else. And if no one picks up, man, I freak out. I'm like, who died? Any special places you plan to see in Rome? Yes, I'm so excited, guys. I'm going to Italy for vacation next month. And the reason that I'm going to Italy specifically, and why I'm going in the middle of July when it's going to be really hot and really crowded, is because one of my friends from college is getting married there. She is marrying an Italian man who is literally from Tuscany. So we're going to go, I think it's kind of like a pretty little town where they're getting married, and all my college friends are going. And so we are going to fly into Rome, and we're going to have a couple of days in the beginning and at the end of the trip to, sightsee in Rome. We're going to go to the Vatican and the Colosseum and the Roman Forum. And like, we're gonna see all the big sites. I hired a travel agent to help me out because I was just so overwhelmed with work and YouTube. I was like, please plan this for me. And literally, it was the best decision ever. So we're gonna be doing that in Rome. That's all booked. We are also gonna go to Sardinia for a couple of days with my college friends. We like rented a house together. So that's gonna be a really nice like friend bonding time. I'm really looking forward to just like relaxing with my friends. My boyfriend is coming too. Like, everybody's bringing their like husbands and significant others and whatnot. Then we're going to the wedding, and then we're also spending another couple of days in Umbria, which is one of the landlocked regions of Italy. I'm really excited to go there. As many of you guys know, I love wine. I have a level 3 certificate in wine. And so a lot of times when people tell me about certain regions, I'm like, oh yes, I know what wine varieties grow there. We are going to be tasting some wine. There's some really interesting varieties there. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to try and vlog as much as I can. And Umbria has some absolutely stunning like hill towns, very picturesque, sceneries and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm also hoping it's going to be maybe not as crowded as Tuscany, because I feel like everybody goes to Tuscany and Amalfi Coast because like those are the big names. But I'm excited to go to Umbria, okay? So you have any recommendations for me on like towns or things to eat or whatever, list them in the comment section down below. But sorry, I know that was like a very long-winded answer to your question, but I just wanted to talk about it. This person asks, have you been contacted yet by a brand to partner on developing a product? product? If not, would you want that? Yes, a brand has contacted me to develop a product, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Next question is, what type of YouTube videos are your least watched and which are your most watched? That's interesting. I mean, I guess you could like go on my channel page and you could see this for yourself, but my most watched videos are definitely my pass or yes videos, or at least certain ones. It really depends on what products are featured in each video. Like if there's a major sneak peek, it's going to get more views. And then I would say my Chanel reviews. People love Chanel, and I love Chanel as well. I feel like we get really excited about it. It's a really big brand. It's a very international brand, so there's a lot of people looking for information and for reviews on the products before they buy. And as you guys know, I try my very best to get the reviews up as quickly as possible. So it's a brand that I really focus on. So I would say those two groups are the ones that are watched the most. The ones that are watched the least, usually some of my fashion videos, just because I understand a lot of you like to watch my channel because I talk about makeup and luxury beauty, but I do think of my channel a little bit more as like all around luxury with a specialty in makeup. And I do have a lot of subscribers who have told me they really like to see, you know, fashion and bag stuff. So I try and incorporate that onto my channel for the people that like it. And, you know, if you don't like it, it's okay, because like there's always going to be another makeup video like 2 or 3 days later. So it's not that big of a deal. So I would say usually maybe like some of the fashion hauls, those are the ones that don't get as many views. I will say, like, I have some fashion related videos that actually are my most viewed videos on my channel. And that is because I have a lot of people who are not subscribed watching those videos and kind of discovering me that way. So sometimes I launch a video like the quiet luxury bag dupe video or the top 5 bag trends for 2024. Those videos did not perform very well because like none of you, not none of you, but like a lot of you didn't watch them, but they were really good videos and they performed really well over time, and they've racked up like thousands of views. I think the Quiet Luxury one has over 100,000 views at this point. So I don't want to say that I don't have fashion videos that don't perform well, but they're usually the ones that just naturally, they don't perform quite as well as like a Chanel makeup review video. I wish that they did, I wish, but they just don't. I'm actually thinking of doing more short form content on Instagram as it relates to fashion. So if I do like a little unboxing or like an outfit of the day, I'm thinking of doing more of that. So if you follow me on Instagram, like let me know what you would like to see. The videos that are the hardest to produce and take the most effort are definitely the what's up in luxury beauty. And I'm going to continue to do it just because so many of you have told me that those are your favorite videos that I do now. But I do have to do a lot of research. I have to read a lot of articles, and then I essentially have to write like an essay. I have to write, you know, here are my thoughts on this, and compile, you know, the stats and just all the information, and then I have to film it. And they take a really, really long time to edit because there's just so much imagery and things that I have to find. So those are the ones that take the longest. So I might have to just keep it to like once a month, but we'll see. We'll see on like how much time I have for the rest of the year, but I really like making them. Friends, someone came here to say hello to me. Ooh, I think she's chasing the golden hour lights, and that's why she came over. But just wanted to show you Minnie because she's like never in my background anymore, but she's pretty much always, you know, like sleeping next to me, like right outside the frame. I don't know if she liked that I picked her up, but it's okay. She came to say hello. Next question, another YouTube one. How many subscribers or years on YouTube can replace a full-time income? That's a really interesting question, but unfortunately, there isn't an answer as to like how many years you need to be on YouTube and how many subscribers you need to have, because you could be on YouTube for like 10 years and your channel may not have grown all of that much. And same thing with subscribers. Like even if you have, let's say, 300,000 subscribers, they might not watch every single video. Also, different YouTubers, they monetize their channel in different ways. Some people earn the most money off of just like the views. Not that many people though. Not that many people, let me tell you. Some people monetize their channel off of like affiliate links, for example. Most people that do YouTube full time like really the only way that they can pay their bills is by partnering with brands. And everybody does it a little bit differently, but it usually is not based off of how many subscribers you have. It's usually based off of like what other streams of income can you generate, which is why you probably see a lot of influencers, you know, like doing collabs or maybe doing like a sponsorship here and there, or maybe they partner with a brand in other ways, like maybe they do like consulting or something like that. It's not always something that you can see. Some influencers as well, they might create their own products and they might sell that if they have a really loyal subscriber base. You know, even if you have a micro influencer like myself, that person may have a really loyal group of subscribers that like really trust their opinion. Or maybe you have a lot of presence in a single local market like Dallas, Texas, or Miami, Florida, or something like that. So there's really not one straight answer, but what I will tell you is you really don't make a lot of money off of the views. For people that want to do it full time, most of the time what you see them do is like trying to figure out like what other streams of income they can pull in. And also it depends on like what you consider to be a full-time income. Like there might be somebody who was making this amount and that's their goal, and there might be somebody else that's making another amount and that is their goal. Oh, and the last thing is it also depends on how much you spend on your channel. So for example, when I do these reviews, like if it's a Dior or Chanel collection review, I probably spent like $400 or $500 buying that Chanel collection. And I do it in the hopes that I'll get a return on investment. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It's really a gamble. So if you're looking to be a luxury beauty like product reviewer, it's tough because you're spending a lot on the products and everything. So that's why if you can get PR or whatever, it really helps, because otherwise you're spending a lot of money. But some people, they don't spend any money on their channels. It just really depends on the topic. Next question is, how do you handle negative comments or criticism about your looks or beauty tips? I will say, just to start, that thankfully I really don't get too many like truly mean and hateful comments. If I do get mean comments, most of the time it's like weeks after a video has gone live, because it's somebody that isn't subscribed to my channel that's just like showing up to quickly get some sort of information, and they're just like frustrated that I didn't like do some comparison or swatch something, or I don't know, guys. Like you get some crazy people that show up like a year after something goes live. But for the most part, like 99.99% of my comments are really, really positive. And even if people just disagree with me, that's okay, because the comments are there to have a discussion. I'm not talking about that. But thankfully, I don't get too many super duper mean comments. It could be because I am reviewing like more high-end products. So maybe I just have, I don't know, more of like a classier audience. And also my subscribers do skew a little bit older. The vast majority of us are over the age of 30, and actually many of you are over the age of 40 and 50 as well. Y'all are really nice, okay? So I don't get too many, but when I do, you know, sometimes I'll delete it. Like if I think it's something that will be a little bit upsetting towards somebody, if somebody else is reading it, then I will delete it, because it's like, I don't want anybody to get upset if it's really, really uncalled for. If somebody is telling me they don't like the look, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really get that often. Like if they are like, oh, when you put that color on, like it made you look a lot older. I'm just kind of like, okay, it's not super mean, but it doesn't really bother me. The comments that really bother me are the ones where, and again, I don't get them that often, but it's the ones where it's like, did you read the title of the video? Did you look at the thumbnail? Did you listen to the intro? Like, don't get mad if you're watching a video that says it's gonna be, you know, luxury fashion haul, or it's gonna be about luxury makeup, and then I'm talking about an eyeshadow palette that costs $100. Like, don't get mad at me in the comments if it's $100 and you're mad about that. You know what I mean? It's these people that come, like they're annoyed with you, and instead of just like being silent and dropping off the video and watching something that they'll enjoy that makes them happy, they kind of just vent to you. And as a luxury creator, you're always gonna get people who are like, oh my gosh, can't believe like you spent that. You're so out of touch. Nobody's buying these things. Like no one's interested in this. But the reality is that like people are, else it wouldn't be, we wouldn't have these niches and these channels on YouTube. And it's like, I'm the one looking at the data. I'm the one listening to my audience. So it really annoys me when people come and like criticize my video when I was perfectly upfront about what the video was about. And it's like, I work so hard to produce these videos. I spend all of my free time on this channel. Those are the comments that really, really get to me. And I like scrutinize every single little video that I upload, like, oh, is this gonna be helpful? Are people going to like this? I don't know. Those are the things that really piss me off. And most of the time I don't delete them. And I usually don't block the person. I usually just respond to them and I try and just be very blunt with them about what I think about their comment. I tell them that I think that they're being rude. I tell them that I think that their comment was uncalled for and why. And it doesn't happen that often, so it doesn't take up that much of my time. But if it happens more often, which I hope it doesn't, I probably will just delete them, block the person, and move on. How do you balance trying new products while still using the ones that you have already? I'll be honest, friends, like I really don't worry about that because I have so much makeup at this point that if I were to worry about that, it would consume me, okay? I have everything in this room organized. By the way, I'm going to do a beauty room tour, but I got like one more piece of furniture to assemble, so bear with me, okay? I have like a little console table that's gonna take the place of this plant, so that's coming. But anyway, like I was saying, everything is organized. I know where everything is, and as long as it's organized, that is what matters to me because I like my home to be in order as much as possible, but I don't worry about the fact that I have like several hundred eyeshadow palettes in this armoire and there's literally no way that I could use every single one throughout the course of an entire year. To me, it's just like, yes, it's something that I enjoy, but it's also like inventory for my business. Like I see them as tools for creating content. And when I create content and reviews, I do think about them in the way that if I didn't have all these things, do I think it's worth it? Also, having all of this makeup allows me to do those comparisons for you guys to help you figure out maybe what might work better for you. So I don't really worry about using up my stuff. I try not to overconsume. Like I don't actually get that much PR. The PR that I get, it's really stuff that I want to show on this channel or that I truly want to try out. So yeah, I don't worry about it so much. I can definitely see how if I didn't have this YouTube channel, it would be something I would be very, very mindful about. But in general, like I have a little caddy right next to my vanity where I have like all of the stuff that I've sort of purchased or reviewed within the past 2 to 3 months. And I try and get good use out of those things that I have purchased. And then the things that are a little bit older and more classic, I'll keep them in like my makeup armoire. So I kind of organize things in different groups, but I don't worry about it too much, to be honest with you. The next question is, do you have any sentimental makeup products like a lipstick worn for a special event? So I actually just went into my makeup collection and I pulled out a couple things to show you guys. I don't really have any makeup I don't think that I wore to a special event or anything. Like I haven't gotten married yet, so it's not like, oh, this was like my wedding makeup or anything, but I have a couple of little bits here that I thought I would show you. I hope this doesn't gross you out, but this is my NARS Orgasm Blush from high school. Oh my gosh. I don't use it, obviously. Hold on, there's like a hair stuck to it. There we go. There it is. Very well loved. I just keep this for the memories. I mean, look how well loved this is. Oh, that's my blush that I had that all through high school, all through college, and yeah, eventually I retired it. I also have right here this little Dior lip gloss ring that I got when I was, I don't know, like a kid. Not a kid, maybe like a teen, like a young teen or whatever. And if you open it up, it's a little princess ring with a keychain. It's very early 2000s. It has these two little lip glosses. This one's kind of like a nice plum color, and then this one is a shimmering pink. And and I just think it's so cool. I just display it on my vanity. This was such a little treasure for me at the time. And then the last thing that I have right here is one of the pieces of makeup from the first ever Pat McGrath release that at least I remember. I don't know if you guys remember this, but she came out with like those molten metally pigment things. Maybe if I can find a photo, I'll put it up here. I actually still have all 3 of the pieces, and this is the highlighter from that collection. I really don't use it. I don't know, I'm like a sentimental person. I'm not a hoarder. Like I do purge my things all the time and I keep everything very organized. But like these are little things that I'm just sentimental about, and they really remind me of my love for makeup, even from when I was, very young. What is your guilty watch on TV? Okay, so I am so boring, guys. I really don't watch a lot of TV. My friends are always like, oh, have you seen any good shows? What are you watching? And I'm like, no, I really don't have a lot of free time, but I do watch some things, okay, when I do watch TV. I love to watch basketball. I love to watch Celtics. I also love Mavericks, okay? I give the Dallas teams a little bit of love. I also watch quite a lot of YouTube, obviously. So not TV, but I do watch YouTube, especially when I'm doing my makeup, when I'm getting ready, if I'm like folding laundry, cleaning my house, that kind of stuff. I do like to watch YouTube, and my guilty pleasure on YouTube is definitely luxury shopping vlogs. I love to watch those. I love luxury, okay? If I'm not gonna go to the store and look at eye candy, then I might as well sit on my couch with a cup of coffee on like a Saturday morning and watch luxury shopping vlogs. I love to watch Handbag Holic. I love Double Vanilla. A lot of people that you guys have recommended to me. There's so many good ones out there. So that's kind of like my little guilty pleasure. And then I will say, okay, I am watching one show. I'm watching Love Island US right now, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. That's a good show to just put on in the background. Like if I have to, get up and do something in the background or be like cleaning the room, I can listen to it and kind of watch it as I go. Whereas, if you're watching like a drama or something, like I have to be paying attention. So I really like lighthearted type of content. I like comedic content. I really like, trash reality TV. And you guys are the ones that convinced me to watch Love Island. So I'm really enjoying that. And if I had the time, I would probably watch Love Island UK as well. Maybe after I finish the Love Island US season that's going on right now. What is your dream designer bag? Definitely like something from Hermes, something that I can't walk in and get, or that is very, very hard to find. I would say probably a Birkin 25 in either a black with gold hardware or something in like a bright primary color, like a hot pink or like a true royal blue or a bright green, a bright orange, something that's like a very beautiful saturated color. I also really like the Berenia leather, so like maybe gold on gold Berenia leather, something like that. Either something like that, Birkin 25, or a mini Kelly with gold hardware, Epsom leather, and in like a white or cream type of color, because that's the kind of bag that I would get a lot of use out of. Will you ever get a dog? Yes, I think I will get a dog eventually. I am a cat person, okay, but I love animals. I do like dogs. I'm not as patient with dogs. Like, I kind of like the fact that cats are so chill and cuddly and sweet in that way, and dogs are sweet as well, but they're just like a little bit more hyper. And I don't want to have a dog when I live in an apartment. I would probably get a dog when I have a house and like a garden and a yard and all that kind of stuff. Maybe when I want to be home a little bit more. Right now, while I do spend a lot of time at home, I don't want to be at home. Like I want to be out doing stuff. And I don't know, dogs are just like a lot of work, and I love my cats so much. But yes, I will get a dog in the future. Can you do another luxury bag video? Looking for everyday crossbody Rex. I would love to do more, but you need to watch them. If you have any suggestions of ones that you seriously would watch, let me know. I'm not gonna do any like Amazon dupe videos. I don't like cheapy things, but I do like showing more affordable options, kind of like more accessible luxury. I love covering those types of things. I love doing reviews reviews of bags to help you figure out, you know, if it's going to be worth the money. But the fact of the matter is like reviews are not performing very well on YouTube right now with makeup or with luxury or anything like that. It's more of like the commentary style of videos that are performing well right now. So while I do really like doing those types of guides and just reviews in general, sadly, it's tough because they don't perform well. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you want to see and I'll do my best. What is a limited edition beauty product that you wish you had but missed out on? There's not really like that many things that I, you know, regret not buying. But one collection that does come to mind is this one Chanel collection that launched very early on, kind of like right after I started my YouTube. And I wasn't really using a lot of Chanel makeup. It wasn't on my radar. I didn't really understand the hype of like, oh, there's a new Chanel collection. And I was kind of just like learning how to do this and whatnot. Chanel dropped, was it the Mediterranean collection? It was the Mediterranean Quad, I believe it was called. I'll find an image of it and I'll put it up here. So many of my subscribers, and again, I only had like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers at the time, were like, are you reviewing this? Are you gonna get this? And I was like, I don't understand the hype. Like, this looks so boring. But looking back, a lot of people ask me about that quad now. A lot of people are like, can you compare? Oh, that was one of like the best ones ever. And I do kind of wish that I understood the beauty and the simplicity of Chanel makeup at the time. I do have one of the blushes from that collection, but I wish that I had the eyeshadow quad. Okay, two more, because this video is probably a million years long. The next one is, how do you travel with luxury bags? I'm not exactly sure what this question is asking, like which ones do you bring or like how do you pack them? But I'll just give kind of like a general answer to this. When I travel, I usually pick bags that I can wear crossbody, where I can be hands-free, and also that can fit all of my essentials. I like small bags, but if I'm gonna be traveling, I'll usually pack one that's just like a little bit bigger that can fit, for example, some sunglasses, make sure that I can fit more than a card holder, my passport, that kind of stuff. I also pick bags that are gonna be a little bit more secure. Like I would never wear a little backpack or something in Rome because I'm just gonna get robbed, okay? So I try and pick something that's also gonna be very secure. Usually it has like a zipper or some other kind of closure that I don't think people are gonna be able to pickpocket. So I definitely think of that. I also think of bags that are gonna be versatile, that match with a lot of things. So when I go on summer vacation, a lot of times it's like a white bag that's very hard wearing, like my Celine box bag in the Lizard. I also really like the Gucci Horsebit bag that I have in the white that comes with 2 straps and it matches a lot of things. And it really doesn't matter like how much I sweat or if anything like spills on it or whatever. It's not gonna ruin the bag. And then the other thing that I do is that, and I've shown this in pack with me's before, and I'm gonna try my best to film another pack with me before this trip, but I don't check my luxury bags. I really only try and bring like maybe 2, like one main bag and one maybe like smaller, more evening bag with me. And I usually put those either in my carry-on or I will slip them into my backpack because I don't really need that much on the plane. Like I just need my headphones and maybe like some snacks or something like that and my phone. So I usually put them in a dust bag, and I put it into my backpack and then I just pop it under the seat. Like it's usually fine if it's like a hard wearing bag. So don't check your bags, put it in your carry-on. And if you buy anything when you're abroad, definitely don't check that as well. Try and keep everything with you if you can. Oh, by the way, I kind of want to make a video about like how to save money by buying luxury goods abroad and like how to get the tax free and those tips. So let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in because it's a video that I would like to make. Okay, last question. What fashion trend do you want to see come back in a major way? That's a tough question because a lot of the trends that were popular when I was younger are popular now. Like all the Y2K stuff is back in, so a lot of it is back. But one thing that I thought of is I just really wish that Louis Vuitton would bring back the multicolor print because I love the multicolor print. I do have one multicolor bag that I bought from, where was it? Fashion File, New York last year. Oh my gosh, I just love those fun colors. I love the kind of like in your face extra-ness of that time, and I liked the fun styles. They have brought back a lot of those silhouettes, and Pharrell is bringing a lot of fun colors colors into his men's collections, but I really just wish that they would bring the multicolor back. But it was like a Murakami collab, so like they would have to, you know, license that out again if they really wanted to bring it back. But if they did, can you imagine how much they would jack up the prices? I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to stick to the pre-love market now. Woo! And that is it for the Q&A this time around. I really tried to answer as many questions as possible. I hope that you guys enjoyed, you know, getting to know me a little bit. I hope that this was interesting. If you liked it, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, you know, chatting with me about some of these questions. You can answer these questions in the comments section down below, or if you just want to say hello, that's wonderful also. With these types of videos, I pretty much always read every single comment because you guys are so great and I know my true fans are watching these videos. So leave me a nice little comment down below if you can, but if not, that's totally okay. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you are new here, we would love to have you. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.